It's from D. It says, "Hey, Danny, female fan here of all the low-value males and, of course, the pod. Give me lots of insights into the male brain. I feel like I'm cheating the system." You're welcome, I guess. "I enjoyed getting all the perspectives from your last episode on the abortion topic. Very nuanced and tricky to talk about, but I appreciate you bringing it up. I wanted to call in, but it never seems to work out with my schedule, so I thought I'd write in." And again, if you can't call in, you want to send in an email, please do. lowvaluemailquestions@gmail.com. I used to be very pro-choice, not rejoicing in my 21st abortion pro-choice, but I wonder who has the most abortions. Is that in the world record? Can someone in the chat? I don't have the bandwidth right now to be fucking Googling shit, but does someone hold the record for not performing the most abortions, but receiving the most abortions? I'd like to know. So, she says, not receiving, but yeah. So I'm pro-choice 100% and unwilling to accept anything other than, the other side had to say. That was previous. Then I got pregnant at 23, mind you, while I was married to a pro-life guy. Very toxic relationship, long story. But ironically, when I got pregnant with him, we almost immediately decided mutually to get an abortion. Funny how your mind changes when it applies to you. That is funny because I've heard stories like that. We had already discussed kids and decided that we didn't want any. It was not planned. Duh. I was living in Utah at the time, a conservative state, but I was shocked at how easy and straightforward it was to get an abortion. You go into any Planned Parenthood, pay $350. That seems like a deal. Have a sit down with a therapist who briefly goes over your option, 15-minute meeting, and anytime 48 hours after that appointment, you can have the procedure. I was only 7 weeks along, so I had the vacuum procedure done. Sorry if that's too graphic. It's not too graphic. It beats the Mike Tyson procedure where you just get punched in the abdomen until the fetus falls out. They gave me the option of seeing the baby in the ultrasound or not. I didn't want to see it. I don't know if someone mentioned this last week or if I heard this elsewhere, but someone was saying that should be mandatory, that before an abortion, you have to see the ultrasound because that would be less people would go forward with it if that happened. Someone says 15 abortions is the Guinness Book of World Records. PolitiFact is saying that a 34 with 27 abortions is fake, so I'm going to assume it's real. I don't know. So anyways, I feel like the biggest hypocrite if I say I'm pro-life now because, well, I had an abortion. And there's no denying that decision completely altered my life forever. Shortly after I mustered up the courage to ask for a divorce, I sold all my belongings and bought a one-way ticket to Hawaii after the papers were signed and started traveling the world. I went to over 20 countries working online and taught myself Spanish and Portuguese. I met so many people and had so many doors open to me. I love my life now and wouldn't trade it. But now, 10 years later, I'm a mom and that abortion still haunts me. I, like so many women, swore up and down in my 20s that I would never be a mom, that I didn't want kids. Around 26, things started to change. Biological clock, maybe, who knows? Definitely. And I started to see a different future for myself. At 27, I was in a relationship, 28, pregnant. One of my best friends, female, told me, your life is essentially over now. You know, you have options, i.e. abort, wink, wink. And I was disgusted that she would even suggest it. Things didn't work out between me and baby daddy, but never, ever did I think to abort my son, who, cliche but true, is the light of my life. So what changed between the first and second pregnancies? I think something that's not talked about enough is the fact that if you are pregnant, you are going to give birth, period. The only difference is you are going to give birth to a live baby or a dead baby. That's fucking dark. But the baby has to come out either way. Why is it that when a pregnant woman is killed, it's ruled a double homicide? Which, again, this is a very common point that is raised in this whole debate because there are two lives at stake. Why does a woman mourn a miscarriage? Because she knows she won't carry that baby to term. Because it is a life. If I'm being really honest with myself, I was not mentally prepared for the abortion, aka recognized that I was holding a child inside of me. I was in denial. It was taken nearly a decade for me to heal / come to terms with my decision. There's no easy answer to this issue. In the perfect world, abortion would never happen. In an almost perfect world, abortion would only happen in the first trimester as early as possible. I agree with what you said about how women can be pregnant and not know. That baffles me too. Or if you suspect you might have gotten pregnant, take a Plan B pill. How is this news? I'm disgusted that some women seem to glorify this painful experience as a rite of passage or something. I don't know. Yeah, that happens in Brooklyn comedy shows a lot. Basically, I know nothing. No answers, no solutions. All shades of gray nuance. Sorry if this is totally unhelpful and a waste of time to read through, but I thought I'd share. Also, I think men can totally have an opinion on this. It's BS women pro-choicers say that they can't. Without a man, this would be a non-issue. I think some common sense sex ed would go a long way to help. What do I know? Hope this email finds you well. D. Thank you, D. Okay, so that was a woman's perspective. And you know what? A lot of understandable stuff here. Like, again, yes, like I said last week, like Louis C.K. said, I mean, yes, you are killing a baby. That's just a decision you're making. We have to decide, if we just give a shit or not. Like, is life precious? I think is the decision. Some people don't think life is precious. Some people think there's enough lives. There's plenty of people. What do we need more? And from the standpoint of like, she's saying I was able to do all this stuff yeah, for sure. If you have a kid when you're young, that's a different life. You are now on a different path in your life. I'm sure there's many people who have had kids young who go, yeah, it was great. It's the best thing. And I mean, again, I don't have any kids. Most people pretty generally are like, kids are, the best thing ever. It's, part of the human condition, and they're great. Like my friend, he just had twins, and we were at this party on Friday night, and, he said this, and he's like, honestly, he's like, I think his kids are 2 now, roughly. He's got 2 twins, but they're past like the being useless babies stage, and they're into like doing stuff. And he's like, I kind of just want to be home with my kids right now. And we were like at this rager, and so people change. Babies change people, and people like babies, and we were all babies at some point. I don't know what point I'm making, but yeah, obviously the idea that men can't have an opinion. Anybody can have an opinion on anything. If someone tells you that you cannot have an opinion, you tell them my opinion is for you to shut the fuck up, because I can have an opinion about whatever I want. And if you don't like it, you don't have to do anything with my opinion. You don't have to listen to my opinion, or you don't have to consider my opinion, but I get to have it. I can have an opinion about whatever I want, whenever I want,